one here is values. We have your personal values, your business values, and your community values. So I'm going to give you an example of my values, and then we're going to talk about your values. My personal values are self-confidence, obviously. If you followed me for any amount of time, you know that that's my number one value. I also, as a personal value, have integrity, self-respect, and authenticity. It is no wonder that I talk about authenticity as much as I do, especially inside of this business owner space, because I'm a business owner. I have multiple small businesses. And I've also seen the impact that my authenticity as the owner and as the person that delivers these services has brought to my business. Next, my business values are discovery, process, connection, and application. Now, for my coaching services and my public speaking services, I believe that it is very important to spend time in discovery with my clients. Now, there's so many different reasons why people do not feel the self-confidence that they feel. There's so many reasons why people have a hard time being a public speaker or sharing their message. And in the discovery process, I find that people unlock and discover a lot of things about themselves that maybe they've been trying to shove into corners, they don't want to admit. And it's one of the first things that we have to really take a look at before we start working on self-confidence or confidently public speaking. Next, in the process, I believe that everybody, when they're going into a service, should go through a process in that service. And one of the reasons it's one of my values is because as a business owner, I believe that everybody deserves to go through the process of the services that I offer, rather than just being thrown into whatever it is that I think that they want to buy, right? I like to think of it in terms of an education like school. I don't want someone to walk into my business and then be put into my biggest mastermind that I have that's equivalent to a PhD program when they haven't even gone through like the elementary school and the middle school and the high school of the curriculum that I teach, right? So I really value the process of my business because I know that when my clients go through that process, they get the best outcome for the time and energy and attention that they're going to spend working with me. And next is connection. I want people to know that they can be vulnerable in a space where they're going to learn a lot about themselves with their self-confidence. I want them to know that they have the opportunity to discover things about themselves in a place where they feel connected to myself, but also to themselves while they're learning all the things that they get to learn about self-confidence and public speaking. And then application is a huge value in my business because I don't want anybody to come in to one of my programs or my workshops or my classes and feel like they can't take the information that they received and somehow apply it to their life. Application is key for me. Every one of my pieces of curriculum has a purpose, and that purpose should be easily applied by my clients once it is that they leave working with me. And then I have my community values, which are culture, perspective, inclusion, and integration. Now, culture is very important to my community values because I believe that the more cultures that we have within a group of people, the more powerful we are. We get to learn from other people. We get to see how it is that people have lived and grown. And I think that there's so much value in the diversity of culture within my community. And second is perspective, being able to look through the lens of someone else's perspective with one of my personal values, which is respect, mutual respect in terms of community. I think is really important because it allows for more compassion, altruism, our ability to treat each other with kindness and respect and support while we're in this community together. And then inclusion, I want people to feel included in my community, no matter what their cultures or backgrounds are. And then integration. It's one thing to know about culture and perspective. It's one thing to be able to say, I was taught this and I get it and it's around. It's another thing to actively integrate it into the way that I spend my time in my community. Okay, so these are my main values for my personal life, my professional life, and then my community. Now, you may be listening to these and looking at these, and you probably could agree that these are some solid values, right? Like, these are some good values. But are they your values? We may share them in some capacity, but can you honestly say that when you heard that list, that they described you and your values, or your business and what you want your business values to be, or the impact that you want to make on the world? Okay, the list of values is very vast, but I want to list off a couple here, and I want you to think about what they make you feel like, and the difference between this list and the list that I rattled off, which you may have heard those values, and if you've been following me a while or you know me personally, you might be like, yes, all of those are definitely part of Amber's values, right? But what about values like loyalty, spirituality, compassion, kindness, generosity, courage, tolerance, altruism, gratitude, self-reliance, excellence, teamwork, freedom, passion, safety, sustainability, right? Values can go on and on and on. And some of them you'll use in your personal life, but not your business life. Some of them you use in your business life, but not your community life, right? There's so many different kinds of values. So now you get to figure out what are yours. When you sit down and you think about your personal life and your personality and your relationships, what types of values come to mind? When you sit down to think about your business offers or what it is that your business does, what kind of values come to mind there? When you sit down and you think about your overall impact on the world and the way that you want to be amongst your community members, what kind of values come to mind? What are the values that best describe who you are and what it is that you want to do? Knowing this is a superpower, because then you can begin to set yourself apart, and then people know how it is that they can build relationship with you. Why it is that they want to be your friend. Why it is that they want to be in a relationship with you or start a family with you. Why do they want to work with you and buy your products? People choose to spend their dollars with you when they know these things, because they know what you're up to. They know what you're about, right? They know what your global and community impact is. These things make a difference to consumers. So once you get clear on these things, you can begin merging those messages of value into your business and your marketing, and that will help you align with people who are perfect clients for you.